It was the summer of 1629 in Venice, and the air was thick with the scent of saltwater and smoldering coal. The sun reflected off the canals, casting a golden haze over the city. Among the labyrinth of narrow streets and grand palazzos, there was one small workshop that seemed almost invisible amidst the opulence, the glassblowing studio of Giovanni Venier. Giovanni was a master of his craft, one of the finest glassblowers in the city. His pieces were coveted by the rich and powerful, from the Doge himself to the merchant families of the Rialto. His glass was delicate yet strong, and his artistry was unmatched. He could create shimmering goblets, delicate chandeliers, and intricate figurines that seemed to capture the very essence of light. But Giovanni had a secret, one that he guarded fiercely. The Venetians were known for their glass, especially the intricate art of creating crystal-clear glassware. In fact, the glassmaking industry was one of the city's most prized possessions. For centuries, the Venetians had kept the secret of their glass formula hidden from the outside world. The city's glassmakers were under strict orders to never leave the island of Murano, where the trade had been concentrated since the 13th century, and to never share their techniques with foreigners. The penalty for betrayal was severe: exile, imprisonment, or even death. However, Giovanni had grown restless. For years, he had been working on a new type of glass, one that was even more delicate, more beautiful, and more transparent than anything the world had ever seen. He had perfected the formula in secret, using a rare mineral he had come across during his travels to the mountains of the Alps, a mineral that, when combined with the ancient Venetian glass formula, produced a glass so clear it was almost invisible. Giovanni's innovation had the potential to change the world of glassmaking forever. But with this discovery came a deep fear: if anyone found out, the Venetian authorities would stop at nothing to take it from him. And so, Giovanni kept the secret to himself, even as he began to make small test pieces in his workshop, hidden away from the prying eyes of the other artisans. One day, a stranger arrived in Venice, a merchant from the far-off lands of the Ottoman Empire. His name was Mehmet, and he was an ambitious man, with an eye for rare and valuable goods. He had heard rumors of the extraordinary glass that the Venetians had been producing, and he was determined to acquire some for his sultans and wealthy patrons back in Constantinople. Mehmet's arrival did not go unnoticed. The Venetian glassmakers, always on the lookout for potential buyers, were quick to engage him. He was shown the finest works of Venetian craftsmanship, from the gilded goblets to the crystal chandeliers. But Mehmet was unimpressed. He had seen glass of this quality before, and what he sought was something unique, something that would stand apart from all others. "I have heard whispers of a glass so fine, so clear, that it appears as if it were made of air itself," Mehmet said, his dark eyes glinting with interest. The words sent a ripple through the crowd of artisans who had gathered around him. Only a few knew of the rumors, the whispers of a new kind of glass that had been circulating through the back alleys of Murano. Giovanni's glass. Giovanni, who had been listening quietly in the corner of the room, felt a cold shiver run down his spine. He had worked for years to perfect his craft, and now, someone else was looking for it, someone who might be willing to do anything to get his hands on it. The next evening, Mehmet returned to Giovanni's workshop. He had been watching Giovanni for days, admiring his skill from afar, and now, he was ready to make an offer. Giovanni knew that the merchant was not just interested in the glass for its beauty, but because he could sell it for a fortune in the East. If the secret of Giovanni's glass was exposed, the Venetian monopoly on the craft would be shattered. As Mehmet stepped into the workshop, Giovanni took a deep breath and made a decision. "What is it you seek, my friend?" he asked, his voice calm but filled with an underlying tension. Mehmet smiled, his sharp teeth gleaming in the dim light. "I have seen your work, and I have heard the rumors. I believe you are capable of creating something extraordinary. Something that no one else can match. If you can make this glass, I will pay you handsomely, and you will be honored in the courts of the sultans." Giovanni knew the price of betrayal. He had seen men turn their backs on their families for a few pieces of gold. But this was different. He had spent a lifetime perfecting the secret, and he was not ready to give it away. Not yet. I am afraid, Giovanni said, choosing his words carefully, that the glass you seek does not exist. Mehmet's expression darkened. He leaned in, his eyes narrowing. I have traveled far and seen many things, Giovanni Venier. Do not lie to me. Giovanni could feel the weight of the moment. He had to make a choice, protect the secret, or risk everything. For a long moment, he stood there, his hands trembling, before making up his mind. I will show you the glass, he said quietly. But know this, once you see it, there will be no turning back. Mehmet's eyes gleamed with anticipation. Giovanni led him into the heart of his workshop, where a single, perfect goblet sat on a pedestal. It was unlike anything the world had ever seen, so clear that it appeared to shimmer in the dim light, almost as if it were made of liquid. It was a piece of pure, unblemished beauty. Mehmet reached out, but Giovanni stopped him. You must understand, Giovanni said softly, this glass is not meant for profit. It is a work of art. If you choose to take it, you will be betraying not just me, but the soul of Venice itself. The merchant was silent for a long moment, his fingers hovering over the delicate goblet. Finally, he spoke. I am a man of business, Giovanni. Art is worth nothing if it cannot be sold. But you are right, this is something extraordinary. He paused, his gaze flicking to Giovanni's face. You are wise to guard it so carefully. Giovanni watched him closely, heart pounding in his chest. He knew then that the price of this secret was more than just gold. If he gave it away, it would mean the end of his artistry, and perhaps the destruction of everything he had built in Venice. But the temptation was great. To be remembered not just as a master, but as the creator of something beyond imagination, it was a powerful allure. In the end, Giovanni made a decision. He would not sell his secret. Not to Mehmet, not to anyone. As the merchant left his workshop, Giovanni made sure to seal the goblet back into the vault where it had rested for years, hidden away from the world. He knew that the secret would remain safe, at least for now. But Giovanni Venier's name would not be forgotten. His glass, like the city of Venice itself, would remain a legend, one of beauty, intrigue, and secrets too dangerous to share.